I'm feeling it a lot at the moment, the intensity of this by-election, which I don't think that's not a sentence I've ever said before.
Andrew Gwynn will be standing down. Who will stand in that by-election?
King of the North Andy Burnham blocked today.
Politics has changed, division is rife.
This by-election is our chance to send a message.
The bookies have the Greens as favourite.
Hannah Spencer, everyone!
Let's go out and absolutely smash it.
So, this is historic. I don't just mean me coming back to Stockport, my hometown. We are here for the big by-election, which is going to help determine the future of the country. I know that sounds a bit over the top, but it isn't. Here is a Labour seat we're going to, Gorton and Denton. Labour won 50% of the vote last time. This time, the Green Party and Reform are looking to take the seat. If Labour lose, that could be the end of Keir Starmer, and it could cement the Greens as the alternative. They could replace Labour in the urban seats. They won't be able to say, vote for us or you get Nigel Farage, or it could bolster Reform's onward march to power. We're going to meet Ali Fogg, local campaigner. He's going to take us around the constituency. I'm excited. So, when you're knocking on doors, what are you finding?
The main thing is that nobody is voting Labour. It's become almost impossible to find a Labour voter anywhere. When we're out in Denton, we're finding more Reform voters, but not uniformly so. There's quite a lot of Green. The occasional old Tory or Lib Dem or whatever you bump into, but not many. But by and large, people are either saying, nope, giving up in politics altogether, won't be voting, or they're voting Reform, or they're voting Green. People are very glad to have the opportunity to give the political establishment a bit of a kicking, I think. And I think they're going to take it.
What do you think of Keir Starmer?
He's an idiot, if you ask me.
He's an uninspiring and lying man, in my opinion.
Well, I really like Keir Starmer. I voted for him, actually.
Why Labour for you?
Well, I mean, I've been a Labour supporter since I was probably about 7 years old. I've been out delivering leaflets for a long, long time. Labour values are my total values.
What are Labour values?
Labour values, it's equality, fairness. It's just...
Yeah.
Stop that now.
What? What's up?
Just stop it a minute and then...
Okay.
I knew that would come in. No, it's all right. I knew that were going to ring.
Oh, you're going to ring? Oh, I see.
I felt it buzzing,
I see. Sorry.
So sorry about that.
I was wondering what was going on there. Sorry. What are Labour values?
So Labour values. Labour, we're all about fairness, all about equality. Everybody deserves a good start in life. Obviously, we're very supportive of these free breakfast clubs because... children need a really good start in life and they need good education.
What policies do you think promote equality that Labour are doing?
That's a good question. There's plenty of those, isn't there? But
just give me a couple. Equality.
Equality. Well, equality, women, for example. Let's be fair. I mean, women.
But what policies?
Just stop it again.
Okay. It's all right.
It's all right. I'm really sorry about this.
Don't worry.
You just have to let me think about these things because I'm not very good on the phone.
It's all right. You're great. You're doing great.
I'll just tell them not to ring me again. Right, let me just think about policies because I don't...
Okay, we'll change that. Honestly, we'll talk about something else. What's the reception on the doorstep?
Well, I haven't personally been on the doorstep. It's the first time we've come over from Bradford today, so we're out delivering some target letters to people. So, but from what I'm understanding is it's very positive. We're getting some really good support from a lot of people from right across the constituency. We've got an absolutely amazing candidate. I'm hoping to meet her today.
If Labour loses here, is that it for Keir Starmer, do you think?
No.
He'd carry on?
I think so. Yeah.
It's just 50% voted Labour last time. That's a bad
I know.
sign.
Well, it's a very, very strong Labour hold here, isn't it? But there's no point in just saying now, oh, well, if we lose this today, Keir Starmer's gone, because that's just silly.
Fair enough.
You know,
yeah.
We don't really want to start changing leaders right at this moment in time. But fingers crossed we'll win it anyway.
All right, we'll see. When people say that they can't vote Labour, you know, that's it. What are the kind of main reasons why? What are people saying?
It's a really kind of deep, passionate, almost irrational loathing that they now have. Maybe not irrational, but you know, it's emotional rather than reasoned. People really hate Keir Starmer. They
It's
hate
a
what's
gut
going
thing.
on. It is a gut thing. It's absolutely a gut thing, and people's guts are saying we will never vote Labour again. And that's a phrase we're hearing a lot.
We won't be Labour anyway.
Did you vote for them last time, or?
Yep, they always voted.
Always vote Labour?
Yeah, we won't be this time.
What's made you think that's enough for me?
The Chancellor,
Rachel Reeves.
yeah, she don't like by the sound of it, pensioners.
Yeah.
She's always doing something against the pensioners.
Because of the winter fuel allowance, which they...
Well, there was that. Now, we should have had a 4% rise. She's given us 2% rise. So, we just don't like Labour anymore.
Who do you think then you might go to?
It's going to be maybe the Green Party.
Yeah.
Reform.
What makes you vote for Reform?
Change needed, short and simple. Yeah.
Who did you vote for last time?
I've always voted Labour previously.
Really?
Always, yeah.
What is it for you? That's it for me.
Lack of leadership.
I am very, very split at this point. Obviously, I've always voted Labour. But I got a feeling, I'm literally it's down to the line. Whoever I feel on the day has got more chance of stopping the Reform candidate, that's who I'm going to vote for. Traditional Labour area, why would you vote Reform? I mean, nothing's going to change. All we're going to get is we're going to get like a right-wing candidate, a Tory. It's a home for ex-Tories now, isn't it, the Reform Party?
Because a lot of those people, they'd never vote for the Tories, but now...
Yeah, it's because it's you know, they're not even asking. It's like, what about the NHS? What about, you know, transport, or, you know, unemployed? Blah, blah, blah. It's just immigrants, and it's just like, it's a lie. Do you know what I mean? I don't think we actually have any asylum seeker hostels or anything in Tameside. It doesn't really affect us, you know. I mean, it's just being Reform frightens you, blames them, and then that's their stick.
Reform.
Why are you voting for Reform?
Because hopefully they'll do what they say they're going to do, and that's all I'm saying.
Do you know what they will do?
I know what I want them to do, but I'm not going to say.
Why not? Give us a clue,
No.
come on. A little clue?
To do with boats.
Right, what do you think they'll do to the boats?
I'm not telling you.
Okay, all right.
Britain seems too full with immigrants at the moment, and there's not enough houses. I've got 3 sons who can't even get on the housing list at the moment. They seem to get top priority before us.
But don't you think it's because the government won't build enough housing? Isn't that the main problem?
Everywhere you look in Manchester now, there's houses getting built. They're throwing up loads of houses, but there's more refugees coming into Manchester than houses being built.
Do you think that's true?
Yeah.
So you don't think it's... I mean, because at the moment, some people might go, well, you know, we're not investing in services, and that's because rich people aren't paying their taxes.
No, it's about the housing also. Doctors' appointments, dental appointments, everything's overrun.
It's like the immigrants and all that. I'm not against. But it's when they're coming over here illegal and, you know, when they're taking jobs and stuff like that. So, I don't know.
Who do you think will win, Reform, Labour or Green?
I'd say Reform, as much as I don't kind of think it, but yeah, I think I'm going for Green.
Are you going to go for Green?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Be different, why not? Change is good, apparently.
I do know that I'm not going to vote for the Greens.
Why not Green?
Because 2 weeks ago, when the entourage were in a cafe, they walked out of the cafe and didn't close the door behind them.
Do you think? Okay. They should have done that, I know, but is that a reason not to vote for the candidate?
Actions speak louder than words.
So we're in Levenshulme, which is, I guess, the more diverse, younger part of the constituency, where the Greens, I guess, have their strongest showing. But it'd be interesting, I guess, to talk to people here about what their hopes, their fears are, what their big issues are.
I really want to see a change for my kids. It would be really nice to see a Green MP for the local area. And Hannah is just she's just a down-to-earth, lovely human. And when she was a plumber, she did some work. We used to live just on the other side of the park.
So the Green Party candidate Hannah, she
yeah.
did some work.
She did some work for us years and years ago, and my kids have both said that if they could vote, they would vote Green. And I think that if the children are seeing that there needs to be a change, then that's the most important thing, really.
Who do you think you'll vote for?
Personally, the Green Party. I've been really impressed by Hannah Spencer. I've seen her out on the campaign trail, and I think she's really genuine. And I'm also, very won over by the Green Party policies. I think we desperately need a change so that we've got the richest in our society contributing more. I mean, we've seen just this week with Jim Ratcliffe.
The UK's been colonised by immigrants, really, isn't it?
Who's, who moved to Monaco so that he could avoid paying tax. And I feel so frustrated that when I've spoken to people in my community who are considering voting for reform, that it's not incredibly wealthy individuals like that they are feeling resentful towards, but rather, other people who have very little, who are, really struggling. It feels like we're all being turned against each other.
When people feel that they don't have some material opportunities, they feel that things have changed in their idea of place, even though they'd never vote Conservative, on the surface, Goodwin is offering and Farage a different approach. However, he's using the same tactic as the BNP did in 2004 in the 1990s, things like a sense of belonging. The immigrants are taking your homes, but when people are very frustrated and feel they've been let down for years and years, lack of opportunities, lack of tangible material differences, some people just think I'll give them a chance. And that is not to say that people voting Reform are all raging racists. They are absolutely not. They have different reasons for voting for them. But it's everybody's job in this community to point out that it will not make their lives any better.
This is a very diverse constituency. What's your fears of what would happen if Reform would win, given that diversity? Because obviously, Reform, that's not their politics.
They would continue to whip up and stir a sense of grievance and difference. They will talk about people not integrating, which is a nonsense term. What does that even mean? They will say that, we'll create a sense of belonging for the people who've been left behind, but all they will do is continue to create tensions in a community that has fought and struggled. In this area in Levenshulme, the library that we're next to was originally going to be closed down 10 years ago. We occupied it. We had, hundreds on the street. That's what this community does. So they will not want people to come together and work together. They will try and impose their idea of what culture looks like or what community looks like. And therefore, minorities that feel under real threat, at the hustings, Goodwin was targeting trans women, he was targeting other minorities. They will feel that they don't want to get involved in things. So it'll create division and hatred, and there will be no material difference made to anybody.
So about 4 million Britons are Muslim, and about a quarter plus of this constituency are Muslim. Traditionally, very pro-Labour vote. Labour could count on Muslim voters, and many Muslim voters take them for granted. I want to talk to Farouk, who's been out here campaigning to organise Muslim voters to vote for the Green Party. Is that working? Labour are briefing otherwise. They're cocky about it, despite Israel's genocide and Labour's role in it. Be interesting to find out.
Look, the Muslim vote isn't a monolith. It's not in a uniform block. There are many issues. You've got a variety of different groupings in terms of what, some people care about the NHS being privatised, some people care about the education, in terms of how academies are being rolled out, and in terms of looking at how, the cost of living. I mean, look, cost of living passports across all communities, and you're seeing how that is affected people from across the whole constituency, from Gorton, Denton, from Burnage to Levenshulme to Longsight. I mean, this constituency is a mix. You got the affluent parts and you have the less affluent parts, but the message is always the same. When people answer the doors, they're saying that they feel let down. They can't relate to the government.
So, what are the political consequences of either a Reform win or a Green win in this seat?
Well, Let's start with the negative. If Reform win, obviously it sets a to the rest of the country the tone that Reform are able to garner seats. They are able to make headway and increase one more parliamentarian. But the ramifications of that is going to be, we're going to see the divisive politics being mainstreamed. We're going to see that kind of Trump-esque narrative being pushed out. We're going to see the community being pitted against each other. You are going to see like residents from like, whether it's Gorton, Denton, being pitched against Levenshulme and Longsight. But again, what I'm feeling and what I'm witnessing here across the borough, across the whole constituency, that people are actually united. It doesn't matter whether you're from Gorton, Denton, people relate. I've come across white English traditional voters, working class, who are very concerned about the negative messaging coming out from Reform. We have seen doorsteps and doors being slammed on Reform campaigners and canvassers. So, I'm quite confident Gorton and Denton are going to do the right thing, and a more progressive and a more, how can I say, policies of hope being passported across the country.
We met some people who voted Labour voting for the Green Party, and we met others who voted for Reform. And they're angry at the country and the direction it's heading, and they're angry about immigration. So, met someone, the sons, she says, can't get housing, and she's saying that's because they're going to asylum seekers, refugees, and illegal immigrants, migrants. That's how she framed it. How do you speak to people like that, who are angry and often very difficult lives, really hard, but they've decided to take that anger in that direction?
I think that anger is in many ways quite justified, because it's a very unfair system that we've got at the moment, where people can't make ends meet, they can't put food on the table, can't buy their kids' school uniforms, and yet us taxpayers are spending, I think it's £6 million a day on hotels for people who fled here for really genuine and legitimate reasons, who want to work. Like, I know in my role as a local councillor, I've met so many people who fled things that I can't even begin to imagine, and they're just rattling around in a hotel. They want to be part of the community. Often they are part of the community, where, I've worked with them, they planted 500 bulbs in one of our local parks because they're just itching to get out and do stuff, but they're itching to work, and we know that we need people to work. So it's that perceived unfairness, I think, where people do think people are being given something for nothing, but it's a result of poor government failures. It was the Tory government that signed us up to these schemes. They signed us up to these contracts with Serco and Britannia to give these companies that pay their shareholders millions of pounds of our taxpayers' money. And I think when you have that conversation with people and you acknowledge that is a really unfair system, we would overhaul that completely in a way that's fairer for everybody, but fairer for the people who are coming here seeking asylum. I think we have a much better system that is fairer for everybody. And so I think acknowledging why people are upset because there's so much injustice in society is the way that people understand we are after the same things here.
Some people have just given up though. We've talked to some voters, well they're not voters anymore, they're non-voters, and they just think they're fed up with all politicians, they think they're liars, they're in it for themselves. How do you speak to people like that?
Again, I understand it. A lot of my friends don't vote, have never voted, or are saying they won't vote again. And it's up to us to earn that trust back, but earning trust does take time. But I always think, if we imagine what would happen if every single person in this constituency who was registered to vote went out and voted, the political system would change overnight, because suddenly these parties that rely on people not voting would have to start thinking, these people are watching us, we've got to start listening to them.
There's this story which we keep hearing a lot about, which is this is a constituency with two very different halves. So you've got kind of Gorton, which is younger and more mixed, and that's where the Greens are doing really well. And then you've got Denton, which is older and less diverse, where that's Reform land. What do you think about that?
I've not seen that myself, and I must admit from the beginning when Reform was saying that, and there was this focus, I deep down I knew that we couldn't make that assumption, because you can't homogenise one entire group of people and assume they're going to vote one way or another. And I think we're starting to prove that now, because we have got support in Denton. We've got people, we're out having conversations with people every day, and people are really open to voting Green. And I think it's that thing that Reform tend to do, where they assume that white working class communities all think and act, one, in the same way, but two, that we don't care about each other. I think they've really, really underestimated how much people actually do care about having a better place for everyone to live.
If you get elected, how would you do things differently?
I think a Green MP, someone like me, a working class woman, a plumber, I've got a trade. I'm not from the same background that a lot of the people in Parliament are. That in itself, like a minute after those results are declared, that will change politics like that. And it will show that change is possible, that our vote is powerful. Like, yeah, we have slightly, broken democracy in terms of how votes are counted, but our votes still mean something. And it would just send a message to the elite and the establishment that change is coming, like we are going to get a seat at the table. And then I think in a more practical way, like it's about earning trust from people. Like I know as an MP here, like that is what I will do. I will be the Green that doesn't expect people to come to me when I know that people don't trust politicians. Like on day one, I will go out there, throw our doors open, we will have people come in, sit down, we will listen. Not just about me listening, it's about then going back to Parliament and shouting and screaming until people start to actually hear what we're saying. And that covers so many different things, like the people are telling us now, cost of living is too expensive. People can't, even dream about going on a holiday when they can't think about whether or not they're going to feed their kids. Like we want to bring people's energy bills down. We want to stop the slow privatisation of the NHS. There's so many things that we as Greens could do that other political parties aren't touching.
Why is it important to have people from working class backgrounds represented in Parliament? What change does that make?
We're resilient. We're a class of people who's had to work hard, get our hands dirty, whatever job that is. We have got like the best work ethic. But often that's because we've had to sort of try and prove ourselves or keep our head above the water. But I think more than that, it just shows that the people who keep the country going are the ones who should get a say in how it's run. Because there's not a lot of systems where we just should accept that that's the best model, that it works. Like I think we've seen from politics over decades, but certainly the last few years, whether that was during COVID or whatever, that people who are so out of touch from how the rest of us are living their lives, making decisions for us isn't working. They're failing us. And I know, again, me being elected as an MP into Parliament will just set the path for other working class people to get their foot in the door. And I always say I will get my foot in the door and I will hold it open for everyone else to come through with me.
The one certainty about Gorton and Denton, that is a constituency brimming with anger and disillusionment. And that's not just the story of that Mancunian community, but this country as a whole. Labour won the election a year and a half ago on a tidal wave of frustration and revulsion at the last Conservative government, and it has given way to what can only be described as an avalanche of discontent. The question is, which way does that discontent manifest itself? There are those in Gorton and Denton whose lives are so hard and so difficult, and the anger has gone in the direction of blaming migrants, of people from all over the world who've arrived on our shores, whether it be fleeing war or persecution or making a better life for them and their family. And for others, that anger has gone in the way of blaming those at the top, the wealthy, the booming privileged, whose lives have thrived at the expense of everybody else. And that's what the Green Party is tapping into. And whether or not the Greens can win this, in this seat in which last time they weren't really anywhere near winning, will be a sign of whether or not the Greens can properly mobilise that groundswell of discontent in that direction. There is amazing, you can see it on the ground, huge enthusiasm and mass grassroots campaign. Will that be enough to stop that tidal wave of bigotry which Reform are tapping into? We'll see. But it's certainly a historic election that will determine whether Labour can keep positioning itself as the progressive party, and if it loses, it can no longer say, vote us to stop reform. So we'll be following it very closely. Please like and subscribe, leave your thoughts and your comments. Help us as ever take on the pro-corporate media, patreon.com/OJOS84. We've got lots of videos to come now. I'm finishing my book, The Fall of the West. Share the video. I'll see you in a bit.